And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin analysis video. I have Sean next to me today. Sean, say hello to everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different one today. I mean, it's not very often that Sean and I are together on these duos, but we're gonna try and make it a regular thing. Now, it's a special day, and why is that? Because, well, we've opened the brand new month of Feb. Well, happy new month. Happy February to all of you guys out there. I hope you guys have a spectacular month. But now let's check out Bitcoin, Sean. What do you think of Bitcoin? Do we have a spectacular month?
Oof. It's one of those candles.
Now, for those of you who don't know what Sean is talking about when he says it's one of those candles, he's pretty much referring to this, how the month of Jan really ended. If you're looking at this just through a price action perspective, what you're looking at here in terms of the month of Jan, it's a spinner. Okay, that candle is a spinner. Now, what exactly is a spinner? A spinner is usually a sign of indecision. There was a fight between the bulls and the bears, and it seemed to have been a stalemate.
Well, it did close green, so...
Yeah. So that's 1 point for the bulls. But actually, you know what, Sean? There's actually 2 points for the bulls. Okay. Now, once again, guys, this is something that I have been talking about. Not to sound like a broken record, but this has worked out in the past in terms of, cyclical signatures that have worked out, where I was essentially taking the high of the previous cycle, the low of this past bear market, and finding the midpoint between those 2 points, and I came up with this as the cycle mid, okay, coming in at around $42,200. And what I was looking for all this time was for a conviction close over this 42.2K, but on the monthly time frame.
So this wouldn't be a conviction close, right?
No, I mean, it's a spinner. I mean, yeah, I don't want to see an indecision. I'll say this, okay? Historically, if you guys just go ahead and do this, find the midpoint between cycles and you know, just sort of observe price action on it, you're going to notice that every time we did get a monthly close, Sean, it's always been like a pretty good conviction candle close over the mid.
So I did do a live stream the previous month when we had a close that wasn't convincing at all, right? And I talked about just this. I'm like, you know, guys, I don't think Krisha's going to be too happy with this close, and I'm not too happy either. It's one of those closes where you just barely close above it, and it's not enough to give us a conviction. And now we've done something similar where we've closed just barely above it with a doji candle, a spinner candle. And this actually lines up with what we are looking for on our weekly time frame on the long term, right? And we'll get to that in a bit. But the story is actually beginning to all come together, guys. Even though this candle is not the best candle, in the grand scheme, it's the best outcome.
Okay, so with that, so I feel I don't want to like confuse them in a way, Sean, because I think what we're saying here is that, okay, this closed over our mid, but it's a spinner, you know, it's indecision. So let's actually default to some of our objective tools, okay, to keep us on the right side of this. And what can we all really expect leading into, well, the first couple of weeks of Feb, leading into maybe the entire month of Feb? Okay, let's see where the trend is at. And for that, we always use the Mango dashboard. Get into app.mangoresearch.co, pull up the dashboard. Let's get into the trends and the volatility profile. Also, by the way, before I jump into that, a brand new update just hit the Mango dashboard. Might actually be one of our biggest feature releases in a very long time. And for those of you who have not spotted it out just yet, zoom in. What are you seeing here? Not only do you have crypto as an option, you can now also catch some amazing trade setups on your traditional assets as well.
You get the trend algorithm along with the volatility readings, along with all the flags, the bullish Ichimoku, the bearish Ichimoku, bullish divergence, bearish divergence, all of it included in TradFi as well.
Super exciting. And now, guys, this is in its beta phase, okay? So since it's in its beta, it's going to be available to all premium and all freemium members as well. So go ahead and check it out. Now, let's get on over to crypto. Let's get into dissecting Bitcoin's trends, Bitcoin's volatility profile. Without further ado, now Bitcoin USDT here, Sean, the trends. Okay, so 4 hours short, however, 12 hour is long, and 12 hour has been the barometer of keeping us on the right side of Bitcoin, and that is telling us that, hey, things are bullish. But not just that, you know what, weekly trend is also intact at long.
Well, the 12-hour time frame did flip long almost 5 days ago, and I think that move kind of played out, right? So the way I would read this is I would err to the higher time frames while looking at the mixed picture of everything else and say, you know what, play the higher time frames while understanding that the mid to lower time frames are going to be in a consolidation phase, and that's essentially what this is telling us. The 4-hour short, the daily is neutral, the 4 days neutral. Okay, yes, you have long on the 12-hour, long on the 2 day, but those are essentially just playing within the consolidation phase. You're going to have ups and downs, you're going to have chops, right? That's what this is telling you. And our play for the longest time was, hey, as long as the weekly dynamic holds, the weekly Ichimoku holds, allow the weekly to be your guide. And we can look at the 4 day dynamic too as a booster. But this phase over here is still telling us that we gotta remain cautious until we see that big signal.
Okay, and I like this picture. So you're saying basically default to your higher time frame trend, because that's essentially what's telling you that, okay, the bulls are still very much in control. Your lower time frames are telling you, okay, caution for consolidation. Don't get too gung-ho on piling on those longs.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's a really good analysis in a way. And also, guys, default. Another thing, default to your objective tools, because this is essentially going to really help you check your biases. Because if I just have to go off of my TA and I'm looking at a monthly close over the cycle mid, I'm like, all right, bull market, here we come, let's go to the moon, right? But now the dashboard is telling me is that, hey, 4 hours short. Yeah. 4 hours short. Look at the volatility. Look at the volatility on the daily time frame, on the 2 day time frame. Yeah, you could expect a bit of a consolidation, maybe even a minor pullback. And I think that's in line with the weekly picture. And now this is where our multi-time frame analysis really kicks in, Sean, because if you get onto the weekly, check this out. Price relative to the weekly cloud. Now, we opened this candle just a couple of days ago, right? And it opened where? I was hoping that it opened over the cloud, but no. Once again, cloud resistance. Past 2 weeks now, hell, 3 weeks now, we've been using the cloud as resistance. And this is one of your grand theses, Sean, that you actually drew out for everyone over a year ago. For those of you who did not catch it, Sean actually posted this. This was December. This was an update clearly, but you had posted this in 2022, December of 2022, where Bitcoin was sitting at 16.9K, and you drew out 2 targets for the entire community, right? And you were pushing on this. You're like, this is going to be target 1, guys. Eyes on the prize. Don't miss the forest for one tree. We're looking at 24K as the first target. Don't be fearful because of what happened with FTX. 24K first target, and then 42K next target, top of the cloud. Guys, where are we sitting right now? Top of that weekly cloud. Okay, top of that weekly cloud. But Sean, your analysis didn't stop just there, because you told people, yeah, 42K is the next target. But guys, be cautious when we get there, because we could see a consolidation that looks something like this, where we see consolidation on the top of the cloud. Everyone is getting super bullish there, but people miss the consolidation now. And guys, think of where Bitcoin was sitting at. Look at this picture. Bitcoin was sitting at around $16,000, $17,000 when he basically drew out this entire move for the market. This is to say, by the way, that if you're not following Sean on Twitter, what are you doing? Get into Twitter. Follow Sean. He's going to give you some sick alpha, okay? His handle is Sean Dexta, SHAWNDEXTA. I'll be pinning it in the description. But yeah, check this out, Sean. Sean, what was your, what do you have to say about this picture now?
So the play from 16K all the way up to 42K and then consolidating between 42K and 50K, right? That was what we were looking for. And that 0.786, what I've drawn out over here, guys, is a fib level that we were looking for Bitcoin to hit at 50K. And if you guys go ahead and look at the chart, you see this rejection over here. That was essentially it, right? And that's how things played out. We got the move, the cascading pattern play into the equilibrium play, into the edge-to-edge play with a rejection of the fib play, right? Now, I know that's a lot to swallow, but we went through a deep analysis all the way back in 2022 where I talked about why we would be looking for that. So right over here, guys, is a screenshot from 2022 Jan. Price was still sitting at 17,000 at the time. You guys can see that right over here. I marked out a target zone. Okay, I marked out a target zone, which was the fib level, okay, coming all the way down to the top of the cloud. The trade was this, guys. The trade was this. We're going to look for that move to 42,000, yes. But the most bullish outcome for the long term would be a consolidation between the 50K and 40K. We don't want to see price continuing from there immediately. Why? Because the cloud needs time to flip green. And we had gone through each one of the occurrences where Bitcoin went into a parabolic run, and it only happened when the cloud turns green. Okay, now we're not going to do it in this video, but we will do it in an upcoming video this week again for you guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification icon, because you don't want to miss that video, because that's the video that will give you the conviction to hold on to your trade when the time comes. There are many people in the Mango community that actually caught this huge trade from 16k to 42k, and the reason they were able to catch that big trade was because they had conviction, and the reason they had conviction was because they understood the analysis. So just taking my word for it and looking for the target is not enough. You need to understand why the targets are what they are. That's how you can actually follow the trade to those big wins.
All right, so Sean, according to you, then a consolidation would be a really, really healthy picture for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, it's the most bullish picture, because what ends up happening is we form a base at the 42k level to, let's say, even that we come down to as long as we're holding the the Tenkin and the weekly dynamic, those two levels, okay? As long as we're holding the weekly dynamic and the weekly Tenkin, I would consider that a really good outcome. In fact, we don't even need to hold the Tenkin for us to still have that big move, but holding it would be amazing. It gives Bitcoin a chance to flip the cloud green while forming a long-term base over here, essentially allowing a new set of fresh holders to have their entry position at 42k, essentially giving us a new equilibrium level.
What I'm garnering from this is that, okay, Bitcoin, healthy picture for as long as we're holding this weekly Tenkin right here. Okay, so we want to see that. That's a great thing that we're living over the Tenkin. But also, more importantly, guys, over that weekly dynamic, look at how well it just bounced off that dynamic level, right? So I'm looking at this, and I like your, I mean, it's a simple thesis. And guys, keep your TA simple. If you want to execute on your trades in a very stress-free manner, keep the TA simple. All right, we are looking at the dynamic to keep us on the right side of this trend. Dynamic levels, for those of you who do not have access to the dynamic indicator, comes in from around 39,169, going all the way down to 38,076. I will be annotating the numbers on my screen. Go ahead and take note of it. Of course, if you don't want to wait on me to give you the levels, you can find this on the mangoway.com/dynamic. Okay, but this is the zone. For as long as Bitcoin lives over the dynamic, I'm not going to be looking for too many pullbacks on this. No major pullbacks at the very least. Okay, so yeah, that is the level that's going to keep us on the safe side of this one.
Exactly. As long as Bitcoin's holding the weekly dynamic, you cannot get too bearish. There is opportunity if we do lose that dynamic level, and we will keep you guys updated. So make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification icon, so that way you don't miss out on those videos when we actually get that trade opportunity. For now, though, understand that we still have a healthy picture.
All right, so now you know what keeps us bullish, but now when can we really look for continuation? I feel like that's always like the binary question that everyone's got, up or down, up or down. Well, you know what we're looking for downside, okay? But as far as upside is concerned, if you look at the 4-day time frame, okay, this is a good picture on the 4-day as well, guys. Look at the bounce once again off of where? 4-day dynamic looks great, but is this enough for me? No, okay, it's not. What I want to see, I want to start seeing strength over this level right here. This entire zone where Bitcoin was just held as resistance. And you need to understand, each candle is 4 days. Okay, this was a long time of just resistance. Even here, I mean, we had one candle close, but no confirmation. What is confirmation? At the very least, 2 candle closes. Okay, no conviction here. No conviction. Okay, so what I want to see is consistent 4-day candle closes at the very least over this level right here. For those of you who want to take note of it, go ahead and do so. 44,112. That was that resistance, that interim resistance, intra-week resistance, call it. That plagued Bitcoin for some time. So as soon as we start doing that, Sean, I'll be looking for continuation from there.
To where,
Your
though?
thoughts?
Where would you be looking for Bitcoin to go?
Just default to our that next region of resistance overhead, which in my opinion,
it's not too far away.
No, it's not.
That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. If we do close a 4-day candle over here. Usually I would be on, I'd
57.
yeah, I'd agree with Krisha, and I do agree with Krisha right now too, where if we do close multiple 4-day candles over here, we may make another push to the upside. But is that a trade that I'm looking to take on Bitcoin? No, not really. I like looking for these big wins, right? 16K to 42K. I want to trade for those kind of trades now where I can be on the beach while my trade keeps running. I don't need to stress out. So if you guys are looking for that trade for a shorter move, yeah, by all means, look for that move to around, let's say, $52,000, right? That could essentially be, Krisha, a liquidity grab above that wick, and then we come back down.
Oof.
Right?
Brutal.
So again, I'm keeping it very simple. I'm following a plan that we set in motion 1 year ago, guys, where we look for that equivalent play all the way up to 50K into the target zone, and then we look for consolidation over here until the cloud turns green, right? So what am I looking for? Well, let's go back here. Looking for that cloud to turn green, and then if we start seeing 4-day candles over here, then I'm going to be looking for a much bigger move all the way up to all-time highs, right? And then guys, in the longer term, up to 160K and perhaps even more if we see the right signs. But those are the trades that I'm kind of formulating in my head right now, the big win trades, the trades that will keep me stress-free for the next 6 months and 1 year to come.
Sean, I love that. I love that. So essentially, this is what you look for the big win. Big one, okay, the first thing you want to see is the weekly cloud turning green. Is the weekly cloud green yet? Is it green? No, it's not. Okay, it's still red. Number two, the second thing that you guys want to look for is consolidation or candle closes over that 44K region. Right, so which is that red line right here that's been plaguing Bitcoin for some time now. Okay, look for closes over that. Look for the cloud to turn green. That is your recipe. It's a recipe. A recipe is not just done with one ingredient. You need both ingredients. Okay, so this is a recipe for the next massive trend to the upside.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah, now you guys have the criteria for the move to the downside, the move to the upside. Of course, if you guys want to learn more on your TA, consolidations are your time to hunker down and learn more. And there's no better program I'd suggest than the Mango Seed program, taught by the one and the only Sean right here. If you want to come up with analysis like this one, just being able to anticipate price moving up to these levels before much before it even gets there, learn from him, because he's going to show you exactly how it's done. And if you guys want additional, if you don't want to hear it from me, you want to hear it from everyone else, you can go ahead and check out the testimonial section on the Discord chat. You'll find a little testimonial tab right there, and then you can go ahead and see what everyone's got to say about the Mango Seed program. Okay, so go ahead and check it out. Yeah, if you're looking to up your game this bull run. Now, Sean, do you want to wrap up with Bitcoin dominance quickly to see where the altcoins are at as well? Okay, who's got the edge here? Is it Bitcoin? Is it the altcoins?
We're going to switch on over to the weekly, and you're going to see that the weekly is kind of chopping around over here, right?
Yeah.
So making a decision on the weekly is going to be ill-advised. I was initially looking at the weekly dynamic as a sign for, hey, you know what, it's time to get into altcoins, because we're holding that weekly trend, right? And Bitcoin dominance did lose that weekly dynamic, essentially giving us a clue that, hey, you know what, altcoins may want to start trending. But even if they do want to start trending against Bitcoin, it's not an aggressive trend with immediate continuation of this break of this rising channel. Instead, what we're getting is, hey, we may consolidate for a bit over here over the next few weeks, right, over the next month, giving us a break of trend on the monthly time frame, and then we can see the altcoins run. And Krisha, that lines up with potentially a post-Bitcoin halving altcoin season.
Oof. But of course, guys, when all of that unfolds and we get more information on the charts, we will be bringing you more juice. But yeah, this is a great breakdown, Sean. I'm excited. I'm excited for, well, the month and, well, the 2 months to come leading into the Bitcoin halving. So yeah, guys, this is all we have for you for today. We hope this was super informative. Now with this, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like. Let us know that you like these duos and we'll do more. And yeah, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.